All right. Well, thank you everybody for being on the call today. This is our first, actually our first advanced profit share class. And you're kind of going to be beta testing this with me because I put together some information that I think is going to be really beneficial to you. And at the same time, I want this to be where you believe you're going to get the most benefit. So I want you to help me kind of construct this class, because as we do this once a month, I want to make sure that we're delivering the value to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish. So I'm going to be taking you through some exercises today and to be able to kind of help you think through some opportunities. Did all of you get the email that Donnie sent out earlier today? And hopefully you have some of those printed out. If you didn't get a chance to print it, I'm going to be showing most of them on the screen today. I'm going to be sharing it so you can just kind of follow along and write your answers in a notebook or something, and then you'll be able to have the papers that I sent you, you know, just to go back and revisit. But I would like to start off with, and I already got my board set up here, so I've got some really great, like I said, ideas for you today. But I would like to start off, if you could just go off mute and tell me what would be the most important thing that you receive from this call today. So in the event that I don't have it covered, that I can make sure that I cover it or direct you to the right place. So what would be one of the most important things that you get out of the call today?
I would say ideas on how to increase the income that you can get, a passive income.
Okay. Okay.
Ideas of how KW stands above the others.
Say that one more time.
Ways of how KW stands above the others.
Okay. I'm writing these things down. I'm just doing it on a little notepad here. Okay, so I've got it. All right, who else?
How about the best script or the best way to have that conversation with someone, so we're not sounding salesy or like a super recruiter, to make it a nice, easy flowing conversation.
Okay. All right, what else?
I would like to know who are some of the best people to approach to bring them into Keller Williams, you know, on our downstream.
Best people to approach. Okay, what else?
Some ideas to help those that are in your profit share line already become profitable, as far as getting them into production.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, I like that one too.
So that's kind of building your own profit share pool, your own profit share group. You could actually model this. Was that you, Brad? You could actually model this or invite people to this class. But what I'm going to take you guys through today is some exercises. You could actually model this and be able to do what I'm going to be doing for them. And then, you know, and I'm not going to, I think today we're going to cover a lot of this. And then I want you to say, I didn't quite get that. So how can you help me do that at a better level? Does that make sense? Because
yes.
It's like I said, you know, we can write all these courses and do all the things that we want to do, but it always doesn't cover what everybody needs. And so I'm going to try to cover most of these needs today, but if we didn't quite get that, then let me know. And then I can either direct you, or we can, I'll make sure that I add that to the next class to make sure that we're covering some of those things. Okay. Cause like I said, this is kind of like a labbing. You're helping me lab this out. All right. So what else? You guys all heard those. What else would you, here comes Jonathan Mills. He's out there in Gainesville. He's really excited about growing his profit share. Hey, Jonathan, how are you? So what else, guys?
How about dealing with the cap objection? We have a lot of agents on those 100% little tiny brokerage firms. So the cap seems to be a big objection.
Okay. All right. That's great. So are you saying that you actually talk about that if you're talking to somebody? That comes up?
It seems to be one of the first things that people say, oh, you guys pay a lot of money into your cap all the time. I don't bring it up, but they do.
All right. All right, very good. We're going to cover some of those things because those are really these are really things that I want to talk to you about, because I don't necessarily want you to be recruiters. I want you to be referrers, so you don't get involved in those conversations. And so we're going to talk about some of those scripts that you could say, I understand, let me set up a meeting with the team leader, because that question comes up a lot, and they can answer that better than I can. So we're not getting you into those types of conversations. But I'm glad you brought that up, Danny. All right, what else? What else?
Hey, Georgia, I just wanted to capture from the chat, Jadell would like to learn more about the differences between profit share and revenue share.
Okay, sure. All right. All right. What else? Revenue versus profit share. So who was that in the chat? Donnie?
That was Jadell Patterson.
Hey, Jadell. So Jadell, if you could go off mute, did you attend my profit share class?
I did. I attended the first one. I don't remember if we went over that before, but
Okay,
but I'm sure many people still talk to a lot of EXP agents, and I know I've talked to one who was deciding between EXP and Keller Williams, and that was one of the questions that kept coming up between the difference between those two. So from my understanding, I want to have like just a quick overview so I have a deeper understanding of what the differences are when we have these conversations.
all right. So some of that is in my regular profit share class, but I'll try to cover that. Okay, anything else?
We also just have Patricia. She asked if we find a small brokerage and we'd like to introduce them to Keller Williams, what are the next steps to follow?
That would be something where you would either call me or you would talk to your team leader. Patricia, which office are you with again? I'm sorry.
With Jeremy, I'm in North Orlando.
Okay, that would be, that's called our Indy MAO offices. And what you would do is you would refer that to Jeremy. You're welcome to call me as well. But those are specific because those are what we call mega agent offices that we're folding in. And those are certainly things that you can focus on, and I'll definitely talk about that today.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, so if there's anything else, just go ahead and put it in the chat. Donnie can come in and let me know. Donnie, just kind of put those on a list and bring them in so I can then cover them. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. So let's get started with what I had for the class today. And basically, I think it's important that first of all we understand where we want to go, because it's all great that we want to know all of these things, and at the same time, I want to make sure that we're focusing on how much you need for profit share, so you have a goal in mind, so we can help you individually work towards that goal, and your market center can help you work towards that goal. So let's see, we got a question there. What is the link to the profit share tree, and how can I find my profit? That's a great question, and maybe I'll show that to you guys after the class today. All right, so let me go over here and let me pull this up. A couple of things I wanted to share with you today is I wanted to start off with these profit share examples. Can everybody see this pretty good? All right, so the reason I wanted to show this to you is because I want to show you how profit share can work. Now, just really quick, Jadell, the difference between profit share and revenue share is profit share comes from the profitabilities of our market center. So it's much more encompassing because the more we help our market centers be successful by growing, the more company dollar our market centers bring in, and the more company dollar we get, the more profit there is. And so our owners actually share their profits back with our agents. Revenue share, the difference is you're actually taking from the, well, you're not taking, that's probably not a right word, but it actually comes from the revenue of an agent's commission. So ours comes from the profitability of the market center. Revenue share would be based off of if an agent did X amount of dollars in GCI, then there's a formula where they actually take a percentage of that particular agent's GCI, and it comes from that revenue. So I teach that more in the profit share class if you wanted to attend that. And if I have time and if you want to stay after a little bit, I'll be happy to show that to you. But that's basically the differences, everybody. So this is how profit share can work for you, is that can somebody kind of go off mute and tell me how much did you get in profit share last month? Who can tell me how much you got in profit share last month?
This is Karen. I got $366.
So Karen, that's around $300 in profit share, right? Right here?
Yes.
Karen, at 2% interest, you would have to have $180,000 in your savings account in order to earn $300 in interest. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, Karen, do you know, and that's at 2%. Right now, you can only get about 0.5% interest in a bank. So that would be the equivalent of having about $400,000 in a bank account to earn $300. Does that make sense?
I don't have that much in my bank account.
Now, you need to earn a lot of money after taxes to be able to get to $180,000, right?
Right.
All right, so somebody else give me a number. I love that.
I want to hear Lynn and Brian Pace. What did you guys get last month?
I got $985.
Okay, so that's close to $1,000. You would have to have $600,000 in the bank. In other words, $600,000 in a bank at 2% interest is the equivalent of annual interest of $12,000 divided by 12 months is $1,000. So you would have to have the equivalent of $600,000 in the bank in order to earn $1,000 in interest. Does everybody get this? So do you see how powerful profit share can be? Somebody else give me a number real quick. That's the last one we'll do.
Georgia, I received $2,138.
All right, was that Darlene?
Correct.
Okay, Darlene, that's the equivalent of $1.2 million in the bank at 2% interest. Now, Darlene, here's what we know. You can't get 2% interest anywhere right now. You're lucky if you get 1%, but if you got 1%, that would be the equivalent of $2.4 million in the bank divided by 12 months, which would be $2,000. Does everybody get this? Do you see the power of profit share? And all it is about asking somebody to have a conversation with your team leader. Let me scroll down here. I want to show you guys something else. So this is to save $1 million, just like Darlene got $2,000. Great job, Darlene. To save $1 million and receive interest, you would have to set aside a portion of your annual GCI for a number of years. So here's how this story works. So let me pull this down a little bit more. Is that in order for you to have $10,000 saved, to earn $10,000 is the equivalent of about $750 a month. Okay, it would take you at your annual GCI. It would take you 100 years to save $10,000. Okay, at 10%. At 250 at 10%, it would take you 40 years to save $25,000. It would take you 10 years at $100,000 a year to have $1 million in the bank. So in other words, in 10 years, it would take Darlene putting $100,000 in the bank every year for 10 years to get the profit share she's earning now. Does everybody understand this? And we're doing it like this. Now, Darlene's been with us for a while, and she was one of the core members of the Market Center when she joined. And so she's a great example of somebody that was really influential in the very, very beginning of the launch of the Market Center, that people followed her. But that doesn't mean that you can't do this now. And by the way, you can do this now and a lot faster, because a lot of agents or a lot of people that are earning profit share now, it took a while for that profit share to start growing. Darlene, I bet you didn't start earning that. You're already shaking your head.
Yes.
You didn't earn that in the very beginning.
Absolutely not.
It's probably grown over the last 5
Georgia?
to 10 years, 5 years or so to give you that amount of money, right?
Correct.
May I ask a question?
Sure. Let me just ask Darlene one question. Darlene, how long have you been with Keller Williams now?
Since 2003.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably been about 15 or 17 years, right?
Right.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, who'd like to ask a question?
Darlene, are you making about $2,000 to $2,500 every month consistently, or is it like
It will,
sporadic?
it will fluctuate. Annually, it's been a little over 20,000 or thereabouts.
So that's the equivalent, if that's still the equivalent about having about $1 million in the bank. Now, the reason for that is because Darlene, you have agents that are probably in your market center and various market centers across the country or in Florida, but probably every place else because
Correct.
you have probably a bigger tree right now, right?
Correct.
Right. So first of all, you all have this. So I would pull this out, paste it someplace, and think about this is that how simple is this to be able to refer somebody to your team leader and or just have a very, very simple conversation with somebody about what Keller Williams does for you. Now, I'm answering questions here as I go along. So some of the questions is like, what do you talk to people about? Or what would be some of the conversations? Guys, some of the conversations are going to be as simple as why you like Keller Williams. It's your friend conversation. Darlene, I bet that you don't go out and recruit people. I bet what you do is you talk to people about what Keller Williams has done for you as an agent and the culture and the training and things that impacted you as changing your life. And those are the kinds of conversations you have, right?
Correct.
Not recruiting conversations.
No.
Right. Yeah. So these are some of the things, and this is, I'm a little bit on the fence about this is because, I'll be honest with you, EXP agents have become recruiters. I mean, when you join EXP, you don't join EXP to necessarily build a business. You join EXP to build your revenue share. And that's what you do. You become a recruiter. Okay. At Keller Williams, we want you to be business owners. One of the questions I've been asking lately, are you a realtor or a business owner? Because at Keller Williams, you're a business owner. Yes, you're a realtor. That's your job. But your business, you have a real estate business. So you're actually a business owner. So what we want you to do is we want you to be able to do both. I want you to be able to grow your business through Keller Williams, and through growing your business and people seeing what you're doing to have a magnificent business at whatever level you choose to do, they're going like, wow, how are you doing that? And you say, well, it's real simple. These are the things I've learned. This is what I do. Let me set up an appointment and let's go visit with my team leader. Why don't you attend some of my training classes and you'll see how you can build a business similar to mine. So these are some of the conversations that you would be having. So let me scoot over to a couple of other things here that I want to show you because you asked a question. This is the Keller Williams statistic. So just so I can show you here, this is the profit share. So you can see this just goes back 2010. We've actually given away over $2 billion, I believe, in profit share. Okay, so most recently, you can see here how profit share has actually just continued to grow from 2010 to 2011, 2016, 2018. Now you start to see here a little bit of a dip, and our industry had a little bit of a dip. But what I find interesting here is the fact that I want you to look here how relevant this is to agent growth. In 2017 and 18, you can see here that, and 19 and 20, you can see here that right now we're in 2020, but you can see here we had a little bit of decline in agent growth. And when you look down here, you see a little bit of decline in profit share. This is why growing with agents is so important, because as we grow with our agents, because we are a profit sharing company and we share the profits, the more agents that we have that are producing and we're changing lives and are producing, it brings more revenue into the market centers, and then we have more profit share to share. Unlike a revenue share, if that agent decides that they're not going to produce anymore, and you only have a few agents that you are getting revenue share from, that may not continue. The benefit of profit share is because the more people you have in different parts of the country, you have a better opportunity of being able to have, you know, some more stable profit share. So I wanted to show you that. And then I also wanted to show you lifetime profit share earnings. We have 96 people that have earned over $1 million in their lifetime in profit share. We have 255 that have earned over 500, over 2,000 that have earned over 100, and you can see the numbers here, okay? So these are the number of earners, and you might say, well, now this is about 225 people, and you need to remember that these are not people that are currently with Keller Williams, because we still pay out profit share to people that are no longer with us anymore. So we still have people that we're paying out profit share to that could be with other real estate companies or chosen to retire or choose whatever they choose to do. So profit share is kind of equal opportunity, unequal outcome. Not everybody wants to do it. Not everybody benefits from it. And at the same time, I think it's really a lost opportunity, because this is something that can go with you for the rest of your life, and you can leave it to your heirs or your estate. So it's really, really important. Now, let me just go back and show you a couple of scenarios here of Mike Brody's profit share. So a gentleman asked the question, I'm not sure who it was, about the consistency of the profit share. And you can see here, this is Mike Brody's profit share. This is for the month of August, okay? And you can see here that Mike only has 40 people in his first tree. Only 40 people in his first tree. And you can see those 40 people went out and got people that 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 went out and got people. Okay, so you can see here the consistency of Mike's profit share. Now in February and March, we were dealing with the COVID. So those are some anomalies that we've not had. But in February, you can see here March and April and May, but you can see here it start picking back up again. So you can see the consistency in his profit share. Now he'll earn probably pretty close to $600,000-700,000 a year in profit share again this year. And again, only 40 people in this first line. Now you also, what's interesting is when you look at the first line here, you don't see that there's a lot of profit share earned by the first line. So a lot of people have the misconception that you need to get a lot of people on your first line. And that's not necessarily true. Mo talks about get 15 great people on your first line, but those 15 people should be able to go out and get 15 people that get 15 people that get 15 people that get 15 people. And that's where these numbers start to grow. So I'm not sure, was it you, Brad, or somebody else that said, how can we grow our profit share tree? That's a really great question. You don't necessarily have to do it. But if you were to treat your profit share tree as a business, I mean, you could consider having mastermind calls with your profit share people every month to share with them how to build their business. You could take some of the ideas that I'm giving to you and you could share that with your profit share people. Your profit share tree could be a team of its own that you're helping to nurture, and just by you helping them do more business would increase your profit share. And then what you're teaching them, you would teach them to say, go out and talk to other people about how you're building your business, and let's get them to join Keller Williams, that you will start to earn more profit share. And then that kind of grows for everybody. So it's basically just kind of creating a group of people that you train how to be able to grow their business. And then by growing their business, they're going to be a natural attractor to people that want to grow their business. And that's how your profit share tree grows. And then you can help and use some of the examples. If you want to invite them to some of these classes, have them come to my profit share class that I teach once a month, and then have them come to this. Use me as your leverage to help you build your profit share. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so leverage out what I'm doing for you. I'm happy to do that. So now let's take a look at Jimmy McKissick's profit share tree. Jimmy McKissick only has 2 people in this first level, okay? Only has 29 people on this level, but you can see how it grows and grows and grows. Now, again, you can see the consistency, and you can see here in these months where we had the COVID, how this went down, but you can actually see the consistency, and he'll earn, last year he earned $567,000. Okay, again, it's not the people on your, that your big profit share does not come from the people on your first line. Your big profit share comes from your other levels, because these people will go out and get people, they'll go out and get people. Now, the one thing about Jimmy McKissick that he was lucky is that he married Linda McKissick, okay? And Linda McKissick profit share is $800,000 last year. Now, again, I want you to look at something. She only has 27 people on her first line. She does not have 40, 50, 100 people on her first line, okay? She has only 27 people. Again, if you look here, the profit share that she earns on this first line is not the biggest profit share. It's the profit share that she earns on the second, third, fourth, sixth, and seventh line. This is where the value comes in. And these people can be, these are not necessarily in Florida. They're not necessarily in Orlando or Jacksonville or Sarasota or wherever you may be visiting us today. These people can be any place from across the country. And you can do profit share. You can pick up the phone and call anybody you want to at any real estate company anytime you want to and talk to them about Keller Williams. There's nothing stopping anybody from doing that. So that's just a sample. Now, if you want to see somebody else's profit share that might be more relatable to you, is mine. Now, you've got to remember, I started off as a team leader in 2000, and my job as a team leader was not to recruit people to my profit share tree. My job as a team leader is to help people like yourself grow your profit share. So I only have 9 people in my first line. Those people grew and grew and grew and grew. And you can see here that my profit share is pretty consistent over the last few years. Okay, it grew a little bit more here when I recruited when I moved out to Florida, and I got some other people in my tree. But you can see here that $30,000. Now that $30,000, that's almost like a salary to a lot of people. And that comes into me every month. You can see here I have some bigger months than other months, okay? But again, that depends on the profitability and the production of the people that I have. But again, only 9 people, and you're gonna look here and see the majority of it does not come from here. It comes from everybody in these other lines. And I hate to tell you this, I don't even know who some of these people are down in these levels. Now, here's what I want you to write down. I want you to make sure on the 21st of every month that you go to your MCA and you say, hey, where is my profit share tree papers? Now, do you get, Karen, do you get from your MCA on the 21st of every month or the 22nd, all your profit share earnings?
No. Yes, I get my profit share earnings, but I don't know who it comes from. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you should be getting, I want you guys to go to your profit. Darlene, do you get it every month?
Yes, it's a printout. It has everybody. It's however many pages.
It's probably about 20, 30 pages, depending on how many people you got in your profit share tree. It has everybody listed, and it has all the profit share that you earned from people that gave you profit share that month.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
If I have somebody that's, from office number 10, then, which is not my office, then would that be on that? I get that from my MCA?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It has it doesn't matter whether they are in Orlando, if they're in Washington, D.C., in California, it doesn't matter. It's a statement of your profit share earnings and how much you got from each person.
Okay.
And depending on how many people gave you profit share that month, it's not your tree, it's the people that gave you. If you earn $300, it's all the people and how much they gave you. It's all of those levels that I gave you. You guys need to go back and get those from your MCAs and make sure that your MCA is giving that to you every month, because this is really, really, really important. Because that way you can see who's giving you profit share and from what offices. Okay, that's really important, everybody. All right, so let me go to the cash flow quadrant here for a minute. I'm just going to give you a little bit of education, because this is important, and then I'm going to take you over here to a couple of exercises I want you to do. Now, if you've never read this, I want you to consider reading The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. And what he's going to talk about, he's going to talk about the 4 business quadrants. He's going to talk about employee, self-employed, business owner, and independent investor, okay? An employee is somebody that works for money. In other words, now I'm an employee because actually I'm a regional director. So I'm actually have a job and I'm working for money because I get a salary for being an employee, okay? I'm also self-employed because I actually have my coaching business. I'm a MAPS coach. So technically that's kind of being self-employed because I have my MAPS coaching. I get income from that, but it's all commission. So it's kind of like being a self-employed independent contractor. And a lot of times realtors, while they think that they're business owners, are really more self-employed because they're running their business as a practice and not necessarily as a business. Let me give you an example. Sometimes a dentist might think that he's really a business owner, but in reality, if you go into a dental office and he's doing everything, he's drilling your teeth, or maybe he's got somebody that takes the pictures, and maybe he's got somebody that is answering the phones at the front desk or booking appointments. But if he's the only person that's drilling on your teeth and having the appointments, does he have a business or does he have a practice? What do you think he's got, a business or a practice?
Practice.
He's got a practice, right? Because if he were to break his leg or his arm or become in a situation where he could not do his business anymore, or he could not do his job, I should say, anymore, he really doesn't have a business that's running itself. Now, if he had 4 or 5 dentists working for him, then what would happen is he now has a business. He's a business owner. And by being a business owner, he now has 4 or 5 people that can take on those various clients. He may not get the income stream that he was getting as his own clients that would come in and he would do the drilling. He would refer those over to people that were, that are his employees as dentists in his practice. But his business would still be making money. He just would not be making money as an individual dentist in his own business. That's being a business owner. You're running a business, okay? Now, an investor is where you actually have passive income, where you may have rental property. I'm going to talk to you about this in a little bit. You may have rental property. You might have annuities. You might have commercial buildings. You've invested in businesses that are hopefully giving you passive income. So you have the flexibility and freedom to do whatever you choose to do, whenever you want to do it. And so you have the money working for you instead of you working for the money. So we'll talk more about this later, but if you get a chance, get The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki and read through this, because if you're really serious about having passive income, these are the things that I really think are important for us to work on, okay? Now, I did some, this is going to get into some of the things that you asked me questions about. And I also want to give you a couple of worksheets here, and then I'm going to take you to an exercise, and then we're going to get into some of the questions that you actually asked me, okay? So here's a freedom number worksheet, and I'm assuming that the majority of you want profit share because you want to have some freedom money. And so each of you are going to have a freedom number. We also like to call it mailbox money. So as I'm talking today, if you had a chance to download these forms and print them out, I want you to kind of answer some of these questions and think about this. You can do it now, you can do it later. But I want you to think about, what is your freedom number? Your freedom number is the amount of passive income you need a year to sustain the lifestyle you have, or the lifestyle that you want when you no longer wish to work, or you just want freedom from your time or money. So what does that number look like? And I'm going to take you through an exercise here in a minute. Now, I also want you to write down, what does that lifestyle look like? These are just thinking questions for you, okay? What would that look like? Do you want to travel? Do you want to be able to start other businesses? What kind of lifestyle do you want to have? Do you want to have, what are some of the things that you might need to think about for the unexpected? So I just want you to think about those things. And do you want to give to charities? Living a longer life expectancy? Hopefully we're all you know, anticipating living a very long life. And maybe some of you have money already set aside for a certain life expectancy. Well, what if you live longer? Wouldn't that be a great thing? Or how are you going to leave money for your kids? How are you going to leave it for your charities? What do you want to do to leave a legacy for people? So what does that look like? What are some of the things? This is just kind of like a thinking opportunity for you. And so do your best, and I've got a budget model for you. Do your best to add up your specific expenses that you know that you need to live on a monthly basis. And I'm going to give you a budget model for that. And so you're going to write down what that might be. That might be 50,000 a year, 30,000 a year. It might be 100,000 a year, whatever it is that you need for your travel costs, your house payments, your living expected expenses, unexpected costs, whatever it might be. And then once you've identified the amount of money per month that will cost you to support that lifestyle, okay, multiply that by 12, and then that's the freedom number. That's the number that we need to come up with in order for you to be able to have the lifestyle that you want to have. So I'm going to give you your own time to be able to do that. But when you leave this class today, I want you to be able to have that number. So when we come back and we have these future classes, we actually have a goal in place. And then what I'm going to want you to do is I'm going to want you to go and meet with your team leader and your operating principal. And I want you to sit down and I want you to give them this number so they can help you accomplish this. And I actually want to keep track of this with you as well, because I want to make sure that I am helping you accomplish that. So along with your team leader, your operating principal, and myself, I want to make sure that we're helping you get to that number that you want. Now, here's a budget model. And so you can take this. This has got everything on it: your mortgage, your rent, your taxes, your sewer, automobile payments, car washes, all the things that you need. And you're going to come up with that number that is your living expense. Okay. Now, and then over and above that, it might be, you know, anything else that you want for your freedom number. But this is actually some things that you know that you have to spend to be able to live the life that you want to live. And then there might be some other things that, you know, charities or different things that it actually has nonprofits and things on there as well. So make sure that this is covering all the things that you have to have and all the things that you want to have. Okay. So that's a little budget model for you. And then we're going to do this on another call, but whoops, that's the wrong one. But this is your percentage number. So once you know what your freedom number is, let's just say that that was $200,000. How much of that do you want to come from profit share? How much of that do you want to come from maybe investment property? And how much of that do you want to come from another source? So if it was 200,000, do you want 20 of that to come from profit share, or $40,000? Do you want 160,000 of that to come from rental property? Do you want, or maybe 120 and maybe $40,000 coming from annuities or another source of passive income that you may have that I may not be familiar with? So these would be things that I really want you to sit down before our next call and figure out. So as we're working through this, you really have some numbers, because we won't know that you accomplished what you want to accomplish if we're not helping you get to that goal to help you accomplish the dreams that you want. Now, I'm going to quit sharing here for a minute, and I'm going to take you through a class or an exercise that I learned, that actually Gene Rivers worked with me. Can you guys all see this okay? Do I need to pull this closer? Can you all see this okay? Can you see it okay, Donnie?
That's good. Yeah.
Is that good?
Yes. Yes.
Yep, and I just spotlighted
Awesome.
for everyone.
Thank you, Donnie. All right, so this is called the financial lid. And what this talks about is lifestyle, investment, and debt. Lifestyle, investment, and debt. So it's the lid. And we don't want anybody to have a lid. So this is like unlimited thinking right now, okay? But I want you to think about this, and I want you to think for your lifestyle that you want. Now, I went ahead from a time perspective and filled out most of this to be able to save some time. So I want you to think about, do you want to have at some point in time $200,000 a year to be able to live on? Now that would be that would be after taxes, okay? That you want to have $200,000 to live on every year. That kind of takes care of your travel, your clothing, your shoes, your house, everything that you need. $200,000 passive. Okay, that's your lifestyle to feed your lifestyle. Now, how do we accomplish that? This is where that freedom number comes in. You might have a percentage of that be profit share, and you may have a percentage of that be investment property or something else. But for right now, I'm just going to say that it's all going to come from investment, and profit share is going to be an extra added benefit, okay? Because this is the way that I did the exercise, and profit share will be a part of that, but I'm just right now talking to you about investment property just because I want to have these numbers kind of be matchy. So if you want to have $200,000 of passive income, one of the best ways to do that is to consider, and as realtors, this is something that you should be doing, is going out and buying investment property. You're going to buy rental property that at some point in time is going to be paid for, so you have a return on your investment. So if you wanted to have $200,000, you would then say, I need to have $2 million in rental property. And that would earn you a return on investment of 10% once they're paid off. So if you needed to have $2 million in rental property at a 10% return, you could say that that's 10 $200,000 properties. It could also be 5 $400,000 properties. Whatever you think is going to be the best for you to be able to get a 10% return on your investment. Now, let's just say that every year you went out and bought one $200,000 house. You might be able to buy 2 or 3, but I'm just saying one for right now. And you put 20% down, that would be $40,000. So in order for you to have your lifestyle income, you need to earn, and remember we're getting to this number, we're getting everybody ready to have this in their future. You would need to be earning $200,000 right now for your current lifestyle, because this is what you want for passive income. You need $40,000. You don't necessarily want to take it out of here. You need $40,000 for that you need to earn. You need to earn $40,000 in order to invest. Now, maybe that at some point in time could come from profit share. That'd be awesome. But you need to have $40,000 to invest. So now you need $240,000. Now, over here, you've got this D that's called debt. You've got taxes. You've got house mortgage. You've got car payments, and you've got credit cards. Maybe some of you don't have that, but I'm just saying maybe some of you do. Okay, and you have to consider the fact that 30% of this $240,000 that you need to earn, you're going to be taxed on that. So, and then in order to be able to pay off credit cards, house mortgage, and all these other things, we just use a number of about 50%. 30% of that 50% is going to go to your taxes, and 20% is going to go to other things. So if you need 240, half of 240 is $120,000. That means that you would need to earn 300, well, you would need to net after your business expenses, $360,000 in order to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Now, let me stop right now and say something. A lot of times we do this exercise with people and they go, wow, that's just so much work. That's just so much. I don't believe some of these numbers. I don't believe the taxes. I don't believe all of this. That just means that it looks like I have to make so much money. Here's the thing, guys. Yes, you do. Because these things are a reality. Darlene, are taxes a reality?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, you've got to run your business like a business. If you don't want 200,000, that's fine. Make it 100, make it 50. If you only want $50,000 in passive income, then that's okay. Just go out and buy yourself a rental property for $500,000 or two $250,000 houses. Everything becomes lower, but you got the same thing. You still have house mortgage. You still got car payments. Some of you have credit card. By the way, if if you had extra, if we figured 120 because it's, we want to calculate that in after your tax debt. If you didn't spend it and you had all these things paid off, that's just more money you're putting in your savings account. So we're just teaching you to be smart. Now, that means that you need to earn $360,000 to be able to pay off these things, be able to pay your IRS, have your $40,000, and have your $200,000 for you to be able to earn the money you need to have the lifestyle that you want. And then eventually what will happen is these will all be paid off because you're going to get 15-year notes. These would all be paid off at some point in time. And in 15 years, you'd have $200,000 of passive income coming in. But you'd also have tax consequences as well. So you always need to take that into consideration, okay? Now, I just went ahead and did this. If you need $360,000 of income, you got to figure that if you're a single agent, you're going to have about 20% expenses. That means that you're going to have, between lead generation, staffing, and your cap, you're going to have about $90,000. If you're running your business right, you're going to have about $90,000 in expenses, somewhere between $15,000 and $90,000. So that means that you need to do actually $450,000, $90,000 in expense to get you your 360. That's about 15 million in GCI and 60 homes. Now, if you don't want to do this, and this is not your thing, and you don't want to get your business this big, that's certainly okay. I just did this as a scenario, but we can go back through and we can calculate this any way that you want to calculate it. But just in my history of doing things, most people want about $200,000 to live on as passive income because that gives them the lifestyle that travel and freedom and flexibility and all the things that they want to do. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about this? And how are we doing so far? Go off mute and tell me if anybody has any questions. Does everybody understand this?
Can you explain the $40,000 again? The 200,000 times 20%?
Sure. So if you went out and bought a rental property for $200,000, you would, in most cases, investment property, they're going to require at least 20 to 25% down.
Okay, got it.
So you need to have $40,000 as a down payment to buy that house. And you don't necessarily want to take it out of your $200,000 because that's the money that you want to live on, right?
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, completely.
Now, guys, you can start smaller. Just move this to 100, move this to 1,000,000, and everything becomes smaller. Move this to 50. Start out small. You don't have to start out big. Just you can go back and watch this video again and just if this was 50,000, then somebody yell out to me, how much would you need to have in rental property for $50,000? $500,000. That would be two $250,000 houses, or basically three $200,000 houses. Okay. You'd still need the down payment money. So now you need 50,000 plus 90,000. I mean 40, because you're still going to have the down payment money. Okay. So that means that's $90,000, and then you're going to take 90 plus 45. So 90 plus 45 is what? 90 plus 45 is 135. Half of that is like 70,000. Do you see how it just becomes lower numbers? And if that's the lifestyle that you want, that's fine. And what we're going to do is, that's why I want you to go through and do that exercise and say, how much do I want to have as passive income? Because I want to help think. I want you to think big. I want you to, or think as big as you want to think. If it's $50,000, that's great. Then how much of that comes from profit share, and how much of that comes from having rental property? And by the way, if you want all of your $50,000 to come from profit share, that's great too. We'll just work on that, and you don't need to do this. But we want you to have other ways to have income streams, not just one way to have an income stream. Okay. All right. So let's go back to my, let me go back to share my screen and open up this. And actually, let me see here. So now let's get into some of these things that you asked me some questions about. Okay. So these are some of the questions. You said, what do you talk about? So let's talk about this, and I'm going to take you a couple of places to show you some things that you can do. Okay. So now I want this to be kind of interactive. So here's 5 simple questions to grow your profit share tree. Now, this could be as simple as, would you like to meet for coffee? I'd love to get to know you and talk shop. I have a small gift of appreciation for you. What do you think that small gift of appreciation could be?
The One Thing book.
The One Thing book. What else?
MREA.
The MREA book. Okay. Now, you guys, you can change this script any way you want to. You could say, gosh, it was really great doing transactions with you. I'd love to have you sell more of my listings. Could we get together so I can build a relationship with you? And every time I get a listing or you sell a listing or you have a listing, we can network with each other. Now, by the way, guys, I'm not sure how long many of you have been in real estate. Darlene, Darlene, I keep calling you because you're just in my eyesight. Plus, I know you. But how long have you been selling real estate?
For 26 years.
Now, Darlene, I've been doing it about that long too. So let me ask you a question. Don't other realtors sell houses?
Yes.
So doesn't it make sense that you communicate with other real estate agents when you have a listing to let them know you've got a listing?
Yes, it does.
So guys, that's kind of like old-time real estate. Darlene, no offense. It's kind of like old-time real estate. In the old days, before we had like the magic of the internet and all the books and all the things that you had, guess what we did? We picked up the phone and called other realtors and said, hey, I just got a listing at 123 Elm Street. I'd like to go take a look at it. Do you have any buyers for it? Darlene, wasn't it the way that that worked?
It was. And I think today, most importantly, because things are going so quickly. So if you have a lead on something and you want to help out a fellow agent, what a great way to do it.
Right. Now, what a great way to build a relationship and then say, let's go meet over at Starbucks. I'll show you some of my listings. By the way, show me some of your listings. How can we help each other? And then you go and you have these conversations, and then to give them a millionaire real estate book or a One Thing book or an MREI book or teach them the lid, give them something of value. I'm going to give you some more stuff here in a little bit, okay? And just talk to them about the things that are happening in your life of why you're so successful. I mean, nothing would be better than to teach them a lid exercise. All right, now, the simple event question like family reunion, mega camp, or bold. Now I put adjustive digital because right now we're adjusting, okay? Do you have a minute? Look, I called you because you were great to work with on a deal, and I want to invite you to mega camp. I knew you would be an agent that would enjoy networking if it was live, but actually through digital mega camp, you could network as well. As well as here's some of the latest compelling research on real estate. Top agents from across the country and Canada or United States will be interviewed and share their marketing ideas, scripts, dialogues, and more. And I've heard that agents who attend increase their income on average 2 times what they're currently doing. Are you interested? Would you like to attend? Let me get you a ticket. Okay? I know that you might be thinking that you want something different and some kind of magic pill, but let me tell you something, guys. These things work. We just need to pick up the phone and make the contact, okay? And maybe sometimes people don't, but that's okay because we always say some will, some won't, so what, next. SW, 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 next, okay? Try getting out of your car and selling vacuum cleaners or encyclopedias like they used to do in the old days, or going door to door and selling Tupperware. The big thing was back in those days is SW, 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 next. Some will, some won't. Some will, some won't, so what, next. So just remember that, okay? Sometimes the oldies are the goodies, okay? The simple business consultation. My team leader is somebody you need to know. You owe it to yourself to talk to them. They're the best business consultant there is. Would you be offended if I had them call you? You could also say, they could also help you with a tech audit. I saved dollars. I saved X amount of dollars. The simple training question. Our training is fantastic. You actually grow your business while you're in class. I can get you in as a guest. Would you like to attend Buyer Mastery? You know, we've got business planning clinic coming up in November. We've got Asian Financials. If you guys just go on to our GoFundMe page right now, for $50 donation, you can actually attend Agent Financials for free with just a $50 donation. So guys, get them to your market center training. Get them to the training that we have. There's plenty of training that we have that's free, right? In fact, right now we've got handling objections on October 6th or 8th or something like that. I'm gonna share with you something that Donnie just did for us, and you're gonna see where you can go find our calendar. The simple gift question. My team leader has one of the greatest business building books available, The Real Estate Millionaire Agent, and I think you would love it. It made a tremendous impact on my business. I'll have her set up a time with you to come by and get one. She can show you, or he can show you, how to actually use the models in it. So these are 5 simple conversations that you can have, okay? Now, here's the other thing that I did for you. Here's the 10 gifts, okay? Business consultation session with your team leader, free. Now, I'm going to say this. If for some reason you don't think that this will work, I want you to pick up the telephone and I want you to call me, and I want to help you through this process or get a business consultation with this person. I want to help you with this, okay? Invitation to training in your market center is free. Technology, it's technology.kw.com. outfront.kw.com. Those are free. Headquarters/media, headquarters.kw.com is free. Millionaire Real Estate Agent, that's on Keller Inc. Shift is on Keller Inc. Millionaire Real Estate Investor is on Keller Inc. The One Thing is on theonething.com. You've got 2 podcasts for free, Think Like a CEO and The One Thing. Now, here's the one thing that I will tell you you need to know before you do any of these things is you need to go in and explore all these areas. So go in and listen to Think Like a CEO. You're going to get tons of information that Gary Keller is talking about that you can be able to share with somebody when you're doing a transaction with them. Go into The One Thing. Listen to what they talk about on the One Thing podcast. And by the way, you can subscribe to The One Thing. They have the 66-day habits. They have all kinds of things going on all the time that I get emails on that you would want to maybe subscribe or let somebody subscribe themselves to. So they really understand The One Thing and they subscribe to The One Thing. And they'll get an email like, you know, every few days about it with different challenges and how to be able to turn their life around. And, you know, it's not real estate related, it's life related, but Keller Williams is life related, not really business, real estate related. We just happen to sell real estate. We just teach you how to run your life. Okay. So let me now take you to these areas, and then somebody wanted to know about profit share. So let me share with you. And while I'm doing this, I want you to go off mute and tell me if you have any questions that I can help you with, because we're getting to the end, and let me know if you have any questions. So I'm logging into reports right now. Anybody have any questions? Go off mute and ask me.
Is this class gonna, I know that it's being recorded. Where can we see it afterwards if we want to see it again?
We're going to put it on YouTube, so you're going to be able to watch it again.
Oh.
And Donnie or Abby will be sending you out a link to that YouTube location. By the way, I probably didn't put that down, but if you go to YouTube and if you go to KW North Florida, that's actually another resource that I need to probably list on my page there. And you're going to see all the videos, all the different things that we have in the region, all the various trainings that the masterminds and all the different things that we do. And that's another really great resource for you guys to use as a training resource as well.
Hey, Georgia.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that I just put our YouTube link actually in the chat box inside of Zoom. So you can actually click and go ahead and subscribe, and you'll get alerted as soon as this recording becomes available.
Awesome. Thank you, Donnie. All right. So guys, you should be able to go to reports Gosh, I should have shown you how to do that. I just went so fast. And you should be able to get into something that's called profit and growth share. It's not going to look like mine. It's going to look different. But when you do this, you're going to go down here and you're going to click profit share. Or go and explore, because honestly, I don't know what yours looks like because I have so much stuff on mine. But go in and you're just going to, should be able to click and see profit share. And when you click on there, it's going to give you your profit share or your profit share return. Okay, so just go in there and kind of play around with that under reports. And this is where you're going to be able to get your profit share statements. Let me just show you where that is again. Go back. Well, I want to be able to go back, Donnie. Hold on for a second. Now it looks like up in the upper right hand corner when you log in, there's going to be like a little tab that says reports, and that's where you're going to want to go. And then you just hover over this and it's going to take you down to profit. By the way, this is where you find all of your associate reports as well. So you can go here and all of your associate reports will show up right there. All right, so let me take you to, oh, here, where is the, oh, I don't see the chat because I guess I'm in, I can't, Donnie, I can't get to the chat from here to open that up. Let me take them someplace else real quick, okay? So I'm just gonna go to technology. So this is technology.kw.com. All right, so when you, can you guys see, or is this getting in your way here? Okay. This is technology. When you scroll down here, it's going to talk about everything that we're doing. So when you click on any of these links here, it's going to take and give everybody a bigger idea about our technology. So just scroll on any of these things here or explore this. And when you click here, it's going to take them and explain the things that we're doing. Okay. When you click here, it's going to take them to all these different areas. So, okay.
Keller Williams Command brings the agent operating system and the consumer operating system.
And then if you wanted to have the consumer experience, it takes them there, the team experience, or just explore. Now, while they're here, so that's technology. You can also just, now when they get into technology, actually they have all of these other areas that they can do, but I put these on as separate on your cheat sheet. So here's headquarters, and when they get into headquarters, they can actually click on media. You can see press releases, headlines, awards, anything that has to do with our company, okay? And over here out front is our magazine. So when they click on out front, or you send them the link to out front, it's got all the top tips for building an all-star team in any luxury market. It has all of our information about just all the things that are going on. They can subscribe to this. You can subscribe to it. This has about our social equity, about this has what was on Mega Camp. This has all the script champions on it. Let me click here, these things. This has got how you get your own magazine. That's just an ad, but feature videos. This is Jim Talbot that talks about the market. And when you scroll down here, these are all Meet the Megas. So if you wanted them to go and see all the mega agents, or if you wanted to go in and learn about all the mega agents that joined Keller Williams, this is where you would go. So you would click here and you could say, well, let me tell you the story about, and you would have already read about Jamie Simpson or Dom or this agent here, Entourage Elite Real Estate. Now these are from all across the country, okay? But you can go and they need to understand that we're a worldwide company, that a lot of these agents are throughout the United States. Most of these are United States, and some of them are Canada, and some of them are worldwide. So these are all the resources that you can utilize. All right, so Donnie, let me get into the chat here. I just moved it up. All right, so here's YouTube. So again, here's the link for that. And hopefully it's going to take me there. I think our internet, Donnie, in this building is operating slow right now. Here we go. All right, so here's the welcome to the Keller Williams learning experience. Okay, these are all the videos that we've had. These are all the things that we've done in the region. Here's James Shaw, day 1 and day 2 of the Shift workshop. Okay, here's all the other things that we've done, and here's the rest of them. If you guys want to go and listen to something really great, I want you to go and listen to, where's Jordan Freed? Jordan Freed here. There's another one Jordan Freed has. It's Jordan Freed 1 and Jordan Freed 2. I'm not sure where the other one is. But if you guys go back and listen to those, they're awesome, awesome videos, okay? If you just click play, well, I don't want to click play off. That was a mistake. Didn't want to do that. Let me go back here. Okay. So here's our, and you've got here, you've got home, you've got videos. This is where all of our videos are listed, and then you've got our playlist. So look at all these videos here that are available to you to go in and learn and lead from. Okay, and here's our playlist. All right. All right. Well, there we go. All right. So that shows you some of the resources that you have available for you at no cost. Now, Donnie, I want to take them to the latest and greatest. Are you ready for them to be able to be the first that this was announced to?
I am ready.
Okay. So you guys are the first to see this. We haven't shown this to anybody yet because we actually just got the site taken care of. So when you go to KW North Florida, we just redid this, and hopefully it's going to work. Uh-oh, Donnie. Did I do something wrong? Is it set up right?
The Florida. You've done it wrong, Georgia.
KW. I spelled it wrong?
Yeah.
Florida.
There you go.
All right, very good. Yay! It was me. There we go. Guys, this is your new site just built for agents only. Well, it's built for anybody, but I mean, it's specific for, we did it for you, okay? Anybody can be on it, but we did this for you. So here is your regional calendar. So if you want to click, you just go to KW North Florida anytime. Here is our training calendar. So if you want to see any of the events that you can send anybody to, any of your recruits to, you can just send them to the KW North Florida site. And here's the training. So for instance, here's a training that this is a paid training, okay? But here's on the menu. These are Donnie's classes. There's no charge for these. Tech strategies and implementation. This is our invite only. This is our Elite 500 Mastermind. This is invite only, our luxury division. Here's Command Your Database. Here's Bold Launch. Donnie, I don't see the other class on here for some reason, but there's another class that we have. I think it's on October 8th. Abby, we need to make sure that we get that on the calendar. But it's Overcoming Objections. Okay. So these were all the classes we had in September. These are all the October classes. And then these are all the classes for November that we have. And here's the classes for December that we have coming up. And we'll be adding more, but these are some of these, like all of these here, there's no charge for. Business Planning Clinic, I think is like $59, $69, $79, something like that. And Abby, we need to get the registration link put on that. Okay. The other thing is, this would be to see our top performers. So we're going to be putting all of our agents that are top performers in the region. So we're going to be posting that there. All these things here, and so you can have any of your recruits come here as well. Here's the out front magazine and our blog, so you'll be able to send them here. So they just wanted to come to this, they could come here, and so here this takes you right here to that out front that we were talking about. So you could send them either place. Let's see here, what else we have? Our tech support, our command manual, mortgage, insurance, iBuyers. Our YouTube channel is actually listed there, so you could actually just click here, and it would actually take you to the KWRI YouTube, the North Florida YouTube, or the KW Real Estate Training YouTube, which is actually a different YouTube altogether. This is where Keller Williams puts all of their real estate training. So this is another resource that I need to put on your list, because guys, there's just tons and tons and tons of stuff that you can give everybody for free so they can check out who Keller Williams is. Donnie, we have so many amazing things that I need to make sure that I'm sharing with them, that I need to upgrade my list to, right?
Yes, and Patricia just asked in the chat about, she said she was newer to KW. I went ahead and linked all 3 of those podcasts inside of the chat box. Georgia, we had one other question that I wasn't sure the answer to. Somebody asked if we were able to share any of the PDF profit share statements that we were looking at earlier around the McKissick's and yours.
Sure. You know, guys, I give those to you because those are, you know, we're an open book company. I hesitate for you to be sending out somebody else's profit share. I wouldn't want to send out yours to people. So I would just be caught. Now, here's what I don't necessarily have a problem with. I don't necessarily have a problem with you. First of all, I don't think I shared those with you. But if you wanted to have them attend a profit share class, I have that profit share statement. I mean, I use those in my profit share class. So if you wanted, or you can take my recording and you could use my recording and show people that way. Does that make sense? Okay. So I just want us to be cautious with somebody's information going out, you know, worldwide or something. Linda and Mike have all given me permission to be able to use those in my classes. They just didn't give me permission to send them out to the world. So would you guys go off mute and would you have a conversation with me? Tell me what you thought about the class. Is there anything that I should add, delete? Let me make sure that I got all the questions answered. So you wanted to have some ideas to increase. Did I cover that? Do you guys, who had asked me that question? How KW stands above others? Well, I think I described that when we look and we go to Outfront, we go to Command, we go to, you know, our MREA books. You look at all the things that Keller Williams has to offer, all the training, consulting, coaching, all of those things. That's how Keller Williams stands out about others and teaching people how to create wealth and build a business, like building a business. And some of the things that I talked to you about, you know, they're commonplace in Keller Williams. We talk about this kind of stuff in Keller Williams every day. But here's what you don't understand. Other companies don't talk about this stuff. We do. So while you get it every day, it's kind of like having your kids and you're washing their clothes and you're feeding them every day and they take it for granted. And then all of a sudden they go away to college and they go, wow, where's my food? Where's my meal? My clothes aren't washed. And then they go, oh, I get it. There was a lot of value to that, okay? So that's the way that you kind of have to think about Keller Williams is we actually are a different kind of company. We think differently. I think I gave you some ideas about best scripts that you're not a recruiter. The best way to approach people, I think I shared that with you. Ideas in profit share to get more, I think we talked about that. If I didn't talk about it in depth that you liked, feel free to email me at georgeonmymind@kw.com and let's talk about it. Dealing with the cap objection, that was you, Danny. Here's what I think I kind of gave you ideas is that if you talk to somebody and they say, well, Danny, do me a favor. This isn't going to hurt you, I promise. Just go off mute and role play with me and give me that objection and I'll pretend like I'm an agent, okay?
All right.
So just say, well, what's your cap? I heard you spend a lot of money, and I'm you, Danny. I'm you, Danny. Okay, and you're the agent at the other company. So give me the objection.
So what I hear about Keller Williams is that you guys have to pay $21,000 into a cap, and where I'm at, it's just 100% commission.
Sure. You know what? I hear that kind of stuff all the time, and people just really have a big misunderstanding. Here's what I want to do. I want to set you up with my team leader because my job is to list and sell real estate. Their job is to explain the way that our company works. So let's set up an appointment with our team leader so they can explain everything to you.
Okay.
Are you good with that, Danny? I mean, personally, would you be good with that? Now give me the next objection they're going to have.
That seems to be one that people tell me a lot about, you know, like, oh, it's just a lot of money to, you know, give away.
But Danny, here's what I want you to do. Pretend I said that to you. Now, what do you think they're going to come back and say to you if I said that? What are they going to say? So just continue to role play. So I'm gonna set up a call with my team leader so they can explain it to you, because my job is to list and sell real estate and grow my business, and their job is to help us grow and to help our market center grow. So I'd like for them to explain that to you.
Well, I'm happy where I'm at because everybody's so nice. So I'm not really ready to switch.
That's okay. I understand, because I'm not asking you to join Keller Williams. I just want you to, my team leader just wants to call and say thank you for being such a great agent. So, and then they can help answer any question that you want. You need to know what your other options are should there be a time that, that you need to make another choice.
Okay.
That's all you need to say, Danny. Guys, don't get involved in the cap conversation. Don't get involved in the split conversation. Okay? Because we don't go out, team leaders don't go out and list and sell and do your listings. You don't get involved in the cap conversations and different things like that, because there's just too many intricacies to it that we know how to get around versus you. By the way, I want you guys to raise your hand. How many of you think you're on a 70-30 split? Okay. And see, that's a fallacy, because you're not, because you need to think about your cost of sales. So don't get caught up in the split conversation either. If somebody says, well, that's a 70-30 split, just say, no, you need to learn how to run your business like a business. So you need to have a conversation with our team leader and they'll explain everything to you. Okay. Just try to stay away from those conversations and just try to stay into running your business like a business, and the coaching and consulting and the training. And, I'll be honest with you guys, we're not the company for everybody. So people that think small, or think about the fact that, I'm just going to be honest with you, people that think about it's only going to cost me $300 a transaction, they're not thinking like a business person. They're probably not running their business on a P&L. They're not looking at the big picture. They're not looking to see how they're going to be able to build a bigger business and have a lifestyle that they choose to have. Some people, and that's fine, only want to do a few transactions, and they think the way that they're going to save money is by paying less. That's not the way that you save money. You save money by having a bigger business and running your business as a business and generating leads, so you can have a real business that can support the lifestyle that you want to have, not operating paycheck to paycheck or check to check. Does that make sense? And we want to teach you how to run your business like a business, so everybody is not operating as though I've got a commission check, great, now I can make a house payment. We want to teach you how to run your business differently.
Hey, Georgia, I got a good tip from Rick Bosley. And, when people bring up splits, I think a good quick answer is just at Keller Williams, it's more about making profit than it is splits. And, the team leader can surely show you how you can be more profitable. And at that point, the splits don't even come into play if you're more profitable.
Well, and what I always say too, Darlene, to that point, you're exactly right. Just say, well, it's about the profit. It's about the money that you bring home. Right. And it's not about the split. And by the way, at Keller Williams, we don't have a split. And by the way, guys, we don't. You have a cost of sales. You have a cost of sales. Okay. And all you're doing is making a contribution to your cap. So so don't get caught up in that cap conversation either. All right, so one of the questions was, any advice for agents who have left Keller and would be a good candidate for coming back? Yeah, just pick up the phone and call them. We're getting a lot of people that are coming back right now. We're getting a lot of people that left Keller Williams for whatever reason. They thought that the grass was greener on the other side, and it's not. And particularly if you're looking at their business and maybe they're not making as much money as they thought they were going to make, or, here's the thing, guys, that I want you to understand. We have so many tools. I took you through some areas where you saw that there was a lot of tools that we've got. And I would venture to say that probably most of our people, unfortunately, know 30, maybe 50% of everything that we have that's available to them. Maybe. Okay. And so the thing is, somebody will call them from another company and dangle a bright, shiny object over here and say, we've got this. And because, with all due respect to all of you, you may not have engaged in everything that we have. You go, ooh, that sounds great. I haven't heard about that before. And we go over there, and our team leaders try to say, well, no, we've got this, we do this. Well, no, and because this company has introduced it, it's like, I'm going to run over to that bright, shiny object because maybe that's going to help me do better. Maybe that's going to help me increase my business. And you know, guys, all it is what it is. It's a bright, shiny object that's distracting. Okay? I can't think of any real estate company that has anything better than Keller Williams. Let me ask you a question. Name one company that has written books like Gary Keller. The MREA, the MREI, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, Millionaire Real Estate Investor, the One Thing book, the Flip book, what's the other one? I can't think of it right now. Hold, thank you, Hold and Flip, all of those books. No other real estate company that you can think of have written any of those. I will tell you this, they all use them. They all use those books. Now, why do you want to be at a company that's using the books that Gary Keller wrote when you can be at the company that the book was written from? And, you know, this is what Gary says. He says, you know, some of these people may know 100 of the things that I've talked to people about, but they haven't learned the 10 million things that I haven't shared with anybody yet. Now, I want you to think about that. All the things that you learned from Mega Camp, that's the hundreds of things that you're being taught or heard from all the people across the United States and Canada and worldwide. Those other companies don't have that. They have to tune into our Mega Camps to learn that. They have to go to our Keller Williams Realty to learn that. So all these companies are just trying to be us. And you're at the original. Why would you want to be at a copycat? Those people can't think on their own, and if they could think on their own, they would be writing the books on their own. And I'm not being disparaging to anybody right now. I'm just saying, if they could have done it, they would have the company right now to be able to produce those things. But instead, they get it from us because we are the leader. We're the pacemaker. We're the one that's out in front and doing all the things that need to be done. Okay? And it's your job to know everything that we have to help you be able to create the business that you need to be able to fund your life, to fulfill our mission statement is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, experiences worth having, and legacies worth leaving. No other company has that mission statement. And I promise you, if you follow the things that we teach you every day and you attend the classes, the Gene River classes, the Donnie classes, all the things that we bring to you every day, there is no reason that you can't be successful. And if your goal is to make $1 million, go for it. If your goal is to make 200, go for it. 300, go for it. There is no magic bullet. Trust me, if there was a magic bullet, you'd have 1.4 million realtors that are in NAR that were making $1 million. And unfortunately, only 20%, listen to this, only 20% of the 1.4 million realtors make about $30,000 or more. And you're probably the upper echelon of all of those people. So if there was a magic bullet, everybody do it. It's called running a business, get the training, and let's share everything that we are with everybody so you can build your passive income and be changing lives at the same time. So tell me what I honestly want to hear from you. Tell me what you thought about the class, because I need to know what to change, what to take out, what to add, if I covered things, if I didn't cover things. I need your feedback. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Darlene, what do you think?
I think you've kind of covered the gamut. You know, the only other thing I can think of, Georgia, is to, you know, maybe go around the group who have had successes with different ways of creating relationships. What does that look like to obviously build their downline? And I know we all go about it differently. And I personally, you know, created a luxury caravan with co-oping agents in our surrounding zip codes, and we do that monthly, and we preview everybody's listings that, you know, from other companies that have a luxury listing, which are ones that don't sell as quickly. So we do that every month, and it's a great way to get together and network with other high producing agents.
Okay, so you create a co-op, kind of like a way to be able to go out and show, is it luxury properties?
It is. It is.
And so what you do is you get together with other agents and you just go out and look at luxury properties.
Well, we have them submit their properties to us, and we create a agenda, and we have 5 or 6 that we select, and then we all start out at the first one, and then we go around, and then we go to lunch usually afterward. Sometimes the first house hosts the breakfast, so we get there earlier and do some breakfast and networking.
I love that. I love that idea. I'm going to write that out. I'm going to put it in my thing, but you're right. That's a great idea to let other people that have done some things, let them share. So I love that idea, Darlene. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
What about anybody else? What else would you like to see, have me take out? Wasn't of value? Dalton, what about you? I'm going to call on some of you.
I was just going to say that, how about a class on lid, a whole separate webinar like this? I know that Beth brought someone in last year who walked through, and he talked about buying one house a year at $100,000. But the thing is, there's really no $100,000 houses left anymore. But something like that to put that plan together, because everybody talks about, oh yeah, I want to buy investment properties, but people don't know where to start.
Okay,
and
so
they don't realize how simple it can be if you make that plan one a year.
Right.
Set money aside to do that, the return that it could get you down the road.
Okay, an investor seminar. Okay, got it. Very good. What else, guys? Thank you, Dalton.
You're welcome.
Danny, what about you? Any suggestions?
One thing that I've always liked doing was sharing stories. So before I had my own story, I always shared other agents' success stories. So having more of those available to us are always fun and exciting, so that we can tell about other people's successes. Personally, when I joined KW 2 years ago, in my mind, I knew about the 100% commission brokerage firms, and yet I felt that 100% is 0-0, right?
Right.
So I wanted to have that support, and now I have my own story to share that I've made it to mega agent in just 2 years. So
Awesome.
It's been a very exciting journey, and it's here for grabs, up for grabs for anyone.
And those are exactly the kind of stories that you want to be able to talk about. So your story is not about the cap, it's more about telling your story, but you see, you've got to find people that want the same thing you want, Danny. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're not for everyone, and that's a good thing. You know, I mean, the people who just want to sell 5 houses a year, they're probably, you know, better off where they are.
Right. So here's what I want to do on our next group, because this is going to be a continuous group. It's not going to be, I'm going to teach this every time. You're kind of like, this was the first session. So here's what I want to do with our next group. We're going to do a sharing of stories. Okay. And so our next group for our next session, which will be in about a month, is take the information that I gave you today, work on your numbers, how much profit share you'd like to have, what percentages do you want to have come from a profit share, and then let's get together. I'm going to get another class scheduled about 30 days from now. And then what we're going to, I don't know if that falls over Thanksgiving, but no, next month is October, so we're good. And then what we'll do is we'll have a share the story. So I'll send you all out an email and say, get a great 1 or 2 stories about how you are bringing people in, or what's a great profit share story that we can share with everybody. Does that sound good? And you can go to others and find that out too. So, we'll talk a little bit more about any questions that you have and cover those things and some scripts. And then we'll do some profit share stories. And Darlene, kind of like what we'll just do like a big mastermind on what people can do to increase their profit share. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so today was kind of like the vision and what you can do with it and getting us in the right mindset. Our next one will be a big mastermind, and then what we can do is we can just continue to mastermind on these things and make them exactly what you want them to be. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate you being here today. I'm glad you like some of the material we passed out to you. If there's anything you can do, or you get a stumbling block, or you get a indie, or you get an independent office, or some big agent, you really need my help, pick up the phone and call me, email me, and we'll get you on the calendar, and we'll figure out a way that we can help you, okay? But please go back to your team leader and let them know that you want to be really focused on being your profit share, and let them help you as well, okay? Because that's what our team leader's job is to do, is to help you grow your profit share. All right, guys, have a great one. Christina, I'll be logging on to your Zoom here in a little bit, or your information.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.